This is a video on how to use North Carolina Central University's databases. You need to be logged in to my EOL, and you can get there a couple of different ways. So I'll go ahead and show you from our homepage. If you were just at nccu.edu, the main homepage, if you just start scrolling all the way down to the bottom, you'll see over here on the left, libraries, and you can click on that. You'll see a picture of the Shepherd Library there. And don't click here, but come scrolling down and you'll see research databases, and you can click here. So we have a lot of databases, and I'm just going to show you a few. You can do any of the news ones because you can do a current one, but Academic Search Complete, which is EBSCO host, is a great place to look. I'm going to click on that. And one of the first things that you want to look at when you are searching any of them, if it has the choice to click on full text, you want to click on that because you want to make sure that you're searching something that you're going to actually get the article and not just the name of the article. For our purposes, we want something that you're actually going to get the article. You don't have to go anywhere to do it. You don't have to go to the real library. You can use our digital library. So you can click here, any topic that you want to do. Like, for example, I had someone writing about Martin Luther King Jr. And then I can click, and then we'll see how many articles we get. So we have 4,761 articles. I definitely do not want to read that many. So I can put in more, like maybe I want to say I'm looking for something about his assassination, or maybe a letter from a Birmingham jail. So I can click there and see how many articles there are. And now there's 41. That's a little more manageable. And I can come down here and I can see the 41 articles that are here. A meditation, Where Are Your Voices 60 Years After? And this is kind of looks like something that might be interesting because it's 60 years later. And so what I want to do is I can click on the article itself and I can get some information about the article here. I can see the title, I can see the author, I can see the source. I can see that the source says U.S. Catholic, which I can click on about that publication to see anything about it. Now here's the abstract, and an abstract just means summary. So you cannot use anything from this, but this is a great place for me to read to see if this might be going the way that I want to. Let's see, white Christian nationality is a plague on our nation's social life 60 years after Martin Luther King Jr. wrote his letter from Birmingham jail. This sounds exactly like what I might be looking for. So notice that the text is not here, but I can find some important information here. Up here on the right, you can see there's some icons, and this one is really important and it's really cool because you're going to have to do a works cited page. So I can click on this, and this nice little box is going to pop up, and I can click here, and I'm looking for MLA. So I'm going to scroll down, look at all these different kinds. MLA 9th edition, I'm going to click on that. And I can click copy citation, or I can just, copy and paste it. So I can click copy citation. And just to be sure, I can highlight it if I want. I'm going to do a Control C. And then I can close this. And then if I have a Google document open, I just happen to have one open up here. And one of the things I want you to remember before you type anything, make sure you're putting this in double space. And I can come over here and I'm going to do a Control V, and I have the thing that I needed. Notice that it came up kind of with this funny gray thing, and I don't want to use Gemini. I don't want to use, that's AI. So whenever any of that magic wand stuff comes up, you don't want to do that. I'm going to do a Control Z. I'm going to right click on my mouse and tell it to paste without formatting if I get any kind of funny looking whatnot's there. Now notice I want the second line and the last lines to be tabbed over. Usually when I hit tab, it does something weird like that. So what I'm going to have to do is come up here to the toolbar and I'm going to highlight all of this, and I'm going to bring everything over to 1/2 inch, and I'm going to bring the top one back to where it was, and that sets the hanging indent for my Works Cited page. I'm going to come up here, and I am going to click center on this line, and I'm going to type Works Cited. If I just have one source, it's Works Cited. If I have more than one, I'm going to add an S right here and have Works Cited. So notice that all of this is here. Catholic, since I put in the plain text, that needs to be in italics because that's the name of the publication. Notice this EBSCO host, this tells me that it came from the databases. So that's one database that you can use. Let me come back over here to the databases. Another one that's really good is Jstor. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click on the J's and scroll down, and it's going to look a little bit different when you come in. Ooh, that's pretty. We have Jstor here. It's still coming up, I think. There we go. And I am going to research, and let me just put Martin Luther King in here and see what I get. And whew, I have 41,000 results, so yikes. So let me put Martin Luther King. Maybe I'll try 2025 and see what we're saying about him now and see if that narrows it down. I still have 1,000 results. And so I want to make sure, you know, let's see, Martin Luther King Jr., maybe letter from a Birmingham. And you have to make sure that you spell everything right. Like if I spelled Birmingham wrong, it's case sensitive, so that could really mess me up. So I just want to go back and check. And here's 205. So I can see here, same thing. It looks a little bit different. I can click over here and click on Cite. Notice that it looks a little bit different. Here's MLA, and that's the one I need. So I can click copy, you know, and then I can come back over here. If I've decided this is what I want, I'm going to come over here to my Google document. Notice I can click here, and I'm going to click Control V. Oh, and notice that when I clicked after this one, it turned blue, so that should be a link that works. So you'll notice that you'll want to be in alphabetical order, so actually this one should go first, so you can move those around. For our purposes, we will probably only be using one source, but if you do use two, you will need to have both of them there. All right, let's come back to our databases. And another one that's really good is News Source. I'm going to click on N, and there's several things here. Notice that we have all these databases later when you get into your major. We have the National Cancer Institute, there's nursing, there's, you know, law, there's all kinds of these. The New York Times is quite good. You can use that. So let's go into the New York Times and just take a look at what that looks like. If you're looking for a particular one, and notice I am not logged in right now, so I would have to log in. Let me pause for a second here. I am at home and I got logged out, so I'll apologize. For some reason, I'm not able to get to the New York Times right now. That one is down, but I will show you another one that's really good. Make sure when you see Newsbank, this one, read the description, because this one is like Africa, Asia, Europe. So if you're searching a topic that's in one of these places, that's great. We have Newspaper Source Plus. You can click on that one, or Newswires, full in text that contains things from the Associated Press. So they should be pretty up to date. So if I click on that one, so any of these are good. You can really spend a lot of time looking in these databases. EBSCO host is searching it, but noticed it's only searching Newswires. So I don't know if there'll be much on, whoops, let me spell correctly here. Let's try that. And there's nothing for that one. Let me just see if there's anything without that. Yeah, and here's a few. Here's 85. I'm just talking about, and here's some different articles. You can see this one is, you can see the years too. This one's from 2023, 2022. So you can kind of come down and see what you have, you know, if there's something that you can have. Let's try this one. This one is from 2023. So I can click on it. Again, I can get all of the information. I can download it. I forgot to tell you that before. So coming back, all of these kind of look the same. I can go back to the results. And I can see on King's Holiday, and I can say access now. Now, some of these are going to say PDF. If they're newer, it's just text. But if it says PDF, you want that because that's like a photograph, and I'll show you one that's like that before we're finished. But if I click here, it's going to be just text, and I can see what that looks like. It's one big stream. And what I can do is download that, because if I decide I really want it, and I want the full text, so I'm going to click download. And that has downloaded to my computer, and I'm going to open that up and see what it looks like. And you can see that I just have text only. Let me pause for just a second. I wanted to show you that there's several different ways. Like, I didn't really like the way that was viewing because it was just really wide and strange. I want to look at it like a PDF. So when I went to download it, it was just downloading the words. I'm going to click on the printer app. And then instead of using my physical printer, I'm going to click up here and change it to a PDF. And you can do this on any computer that's, even if it's not hooked to a printer, because then you're going to see it's going to give me real pages. And I'm going to click save here. And I can name it. It's going to go into my download file. And then I can come back and find that. It might be up here too. Let me see if it landed up there. No. Let me come over here and find it. Downloads. Here it is. And I can click on it. And this is what I wanted to see, because what this is going to do is it's going to give me actual pages. Sometimes in some of these it's going to tell you 1, 2, or 3, but notice what I'm going to do is, oops, let me get that off the screen. I'm going to call this page 1, this page 2, and this page 3. I cannot use the original pagination from wherever it was published because I don't know what it is, because I don't have it. So, but since it is multi-pages, you want your readers to be able to find it. I have just come back to EBSCOhost under Academic Search Premier to my original one because I forgot to show you this, but so I was going to show you where it says Access Options here. I'm going to click here, and you'll notice there's online full text, which is what you saw for that other one. If that's all that's available, you'll use it. But if it does say PDF, what you want to do is click on that. And you'll see this is like a photograph of the original one. And you'll notice here's a page number. There's page 40. So I can see what the original looks like. Back in Canvas, I have a quiz for you to take, and I also have the link for how to get to the databases. So you will come over here and click in your module. You'll click on the database source quiz and click on Take the Quiz. And you'll notice you're going to have questions. This first one is helping you come up with your thesis statement, and you can click on this particular link. And you do not have to use one of these. I'm just saying there are 100 here that you could possibly use, but we're going to work on doing a 3-pronged thesis statement. For example, parents should limit exposure of their children to media because, and then have 3 different reasons. We're going to work on that. This will be much like the Having Our Say paper that we did with the 3 reasons. So you can pick anything. You can pick something more relevant. Notice that question 2 in the quiz is going to take you right into the databases. You can skip having to find it. It'll take you right to the A to Z. And then you'll follow the directions. I give you an example for each one, and you'll paste your answer into the boxes. Notice the work cited, like I showed you how to do, you'll be pasting it here. Then I'm having you get the detailed record, and it's going to show you, and it should look something like this, because then I can see how many authors there are, all of that information to make sure you have all of that, and you'll paste it in the box. Notice what I want you to do too is read your article. And the first thing that you're going to do is copy a small amount of text that you might be using in your paper. So you'll just copy and paste some text. And then I want you to create a